Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday night, Sunday. It's not the weekend. What am I thinking? Anyways, alright, so happy Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on where you are. So I'm gonna play the. Hey, where'd it go? Okay, I'll go into my room, my home, and get the Steam Rift area up, hopefully. This is strange that I'm not seeing it without going into camp. It'll take a moment to load up. How you doing, Aga? Alright, so give it a moment here. I ended up taking a nap, and that's why it's so very late. I slept late. Alright, let's get in here. Now, this will probably be a multi-part stream, so don't expect me to finish this in one go. Well, I've been missing you too. I know you've had an eventful summer, haven't you? Alright, so let's have a look at this map before I do much else. This is such a cool looking map. Lots and lots of keys. Harvest from steam infused large chompers. Okay. So, I love how all these things that are normal note items have these little additions of steam stuff. That's definitely a sweet touch. And there's our little lesser. Okay, it's a trophy dragon to start out with, or elf. Let's see. And let's look in the little shop here. I love these items. Okay, cool. So I can do the elf flower method, prism flower method. And I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I will merge them up to get the better orbs from them. And the better chests from them. I don't need that offer right now. I'm not going to run the timer. Alright, let's 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring those down together. And I'll do 3 more. Get them over here harvesting while I tap the heals out of those. dragon over this way. And let's see. Turn the lock feature on. And let's get some 5 merges sorted out. And it's lagging just a little bit. Let's see. And we'll bring that grass up. There. Bring these up. Put the lock back on. Alright, let's keep going here. Alright, and bring those up. Another 5 merge there. Turn the lock off, and that's a 5 merge there. Okay. Let's see. Turn that off so I can get that 5 merge. Okay. Bring these over. And the moongrass. It is definitely a bit late for most people. It's coming up on midnight for me, so yeah, it is kind of late. But better late than never. And let's see, these are 8s. These are up into the 100s and 200s. Okay. Put the lock back on. Lock back on. Mm, okay. Yeah, we're going to do these up here. And I will do that as a 6 merge there. Just because. There we go. Put the lock back on. Okay. Hmm. All right, let's set up my square. There. Okay. So right now it's going to be a 9 block that I just put one more into for the merges. And there we go. Just yoink these out of the way. All right, back to it. Hey, Habiba, how you doing? Nice to see ya. And we'll merge those. I'll 3 merge that. Why not? Do 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 do. Oh, 5 merge there. Do 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 do. One thing that I've noticed they changed at some point, I don't remember exactly when, was that if you make your large sized orbs for this before you get to that quest, it still counts them. Yeah, it's almost midnight here too. Like I was saying earlier, I had a bit of a nap and it lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to. So definitely a late stream today. And it won't be the whole event. Not by a long shot. Better get that freebie. So my intent is to make a solid dent for getting started on things at least. But there is no way, even with an earlier start in the day, that I would be tackling this completely in one sitting. It's too big for that sort of thing. Yep, that would be appreciated if people did hit the like button. Alright, let's see. Harvest from steam infused chomper. Alright. And we'll merge those up. $7 till the boat. You'll have to catch fish for me too. Thank you. Alright, let's see. All sorts of things. Nah, that's good. That's good. Keep me away from those. Is it just crabs or is it jelly crabs? Alright. I know that. But if it was jelly crabs, then you needed the peanut butter hooks. Ooh, snap, crackle, and pop. There goes my neck. Making the noises. Do, 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 do. Oh goodness, where are other eggs hiding out? Probably behind keys. Let's see what was in that. Alright, so there's a key. Bring these up this way. Merge those up, and these. Bring that dragon blood tree over there. Mmm, nice. Should get some good levels in on those two, huh? Alright. What was in that star anyway? Some more flowers. Okay. Alright. Okay. We'll keep on going here. Oh, thank you for the flower. And get back down here. Alright, let's merge those. Let's merge those up, and we'll bring that up there. Get that merge. Ooh. Yes, need to heal that spot now. All right. Open that key. Let's see, mist gears, and mist gears. I'm going to use silver leaves, simply because I'm streaming. And merge those up a second. Elf. All right. Bring some of these up here. And there's a 5 merge. Put the lock back on. Okay. Get rid of that. Okay. Let's get back to these. All right. A baked popoto on the boat, huh? I don't know why so many Lalafels have food names. This is the first time I'm actually doing this event, and because it's dragon and elves, I try to be precise as possible anyway. I'm not sure how long this part of the stream will be. Probably until I've um at least got through the quote-unquote prism flower method. And I'll probably let it do some passive harvesting for this one. So maybe another hour and a half for this. I know it's late, so. Ooh, thank you for the box. I'll take gems. That is the whole point of it. That is what is with those names. The Lalafels get joked about as being potatoes, so, and potatoes in Final Fantasy XIV are called popotos. And Lalafels are absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable little vicious midgets. um, or as they get referred to sometimes by folks as murder midgets. They're angry 'cause small, but adorable 'cause small. Alright, let's get rid of that. I really should turn off the creating magic bubbles thing again. I really should. Yeah. I don't feel like doing it right now, because then I'd have to jump through the hoops to get back in here. Do, 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 do. Alright, let's do a 4 merch. Actually, no, we'll do a 5 merch. There we go. 5 merch those. Get rid of that magic bubble. Put the lock back on. Alright, here we go. And we'll keep on harvesting. Do, 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 do. And we'll merge those up. Just keeping on with this harvesting. I like that we know that when this event will be too. That it's just something that we can set our clock by, so to speak. So we'll have this one again the 1st of November. Yeah, every other month, the 1st through the 8th. I think it is 1st through the 8th. But it always starts on the 1st. Doesn't matter if it's on a Friday, a Saturday, a Tuesday, whatever day the 1st is the 1st day for this one, every other month. And it'll run side by side with other events. At least that's how it was explained. Now, I plan on getting the bubble machine. Because the first time around with this, I didn't make the time to play. There was too much going on. I could not pry myself out of Final Fantasy XIV during the expansion for the early access and whatnot. to come play this. I just couldn't do it. I tried, but I couldn't make myself do it. And that's okay. Exactly. And hello, Aquarius. It is not the same developers as Merge Dragons, and they have a lot of quality of life improvements over what there are in Merge Dragons. Now, I can say this. The base game, what they started out with Dragon and Elves, was pretty much a carbon copy of Merge Dragons. But they have gone so far away from that and developed in different directions to what Merge Dragons has done. There's not a bunch of the little bonus games in the side islands. Instead, they have like these portals to extra levels, to level sets. You don't have a friends list. There's no dens. So you can't visit other people's camps. But a lot of the mechanics are the same. Like the techniques for bubbling and whatnot. Would you like to see my camp? It's huge. The camp, just the camp by itself, is a massive improvement due to the size. And they've got so many more levels, it's just, I can't even go into how many more levels there are. I haven't done all the levels in this. Not by a stretch of any stretch of the imagination. There's ones related to different event themes. Some of the events are done seasonally, more so than you see in Merge Dragons. Like what you're seeing me do now is the equivalent of the Prism Flower method. Not all of their events have it as an option. Merge Magic's alright. They seem to have finally started developing more on that one. Alright, let's go out to the world map. It's a good time to make a save anyway for the device by going to the world map. There's a lot of things you can watch ads for to get free currency too. And in this game, gold stars are the equivalent of the purple dragon stars. They're the ones that you're looking for in levels for getting the free currency. There's also free premium currency from the events, both that's in the map itself and objects that you can get in the events or in camp that let you do daily ad watches. Thank you very much. All right, so here we are in my camp. Now, first, I'm going to show you just how big this is. So originally we started out just with this butterfly. Nice, Gleep. Very nice. Right, so we originally started out, well, way back in the day, it was just the bottom part of the butterfly, those bottom two wings. And then they expanded into the upper wings. Now, they've added since the snail that's up here. I'm not all the way through it. Not all of it has been released yet. This island here that I'm zoomed in on is something that we get free as a reward from one of the events that they do once a year. So very specific time of year event. And then once you finish this one, it also spawns this other one over here that you explore and do whatnot with. And again, that was a free one from the developers for doing stuff in the event, for beating an event. Now, as we're zoomed out here, you see this space on the left? There are two massive islands over here that are premium. They're cache islands. And there's similarly two over here. There's two of them that are bees and two of them that are something else. And they're huge. They do fill in these two spaces. Plus, there's also these two premium lands. And then another premium island down here that you can get. Now you see this little no eye symbol here? That's because the developers have allowed us to do some things like hide our bubbles so that our camps load better. I'm going to show you my bubbles. So now that I'm tapping that to turn it on, I've got a lot of bubbles. I really do. And they're not all organized. Let's zoom out so you can get just a little bit of an idea of how many bubbles I have. Look at all that stuff there. And they're over here. Because they're just like that. Now, yes and no. You might still want to bubble stuff just to keep things organized. It's really easy to fill it up if you're not careful. Okay, so a lot of bubbles. Obnoxious amounts of bubbles. Yes, and they'd have stuff in here that supports it. In fact, they've given us from this event two different features that we can unlock, and one of them is a bubble machine, which I will end up doing a video about at some point, but I haven't got it yet, so I can't demonstrate it. But watch this. You see how all my bubbles are all over the place here? So there's this button here, the second one in on the top left, that's got these arrows. I'm going to tap it. are you sure you want to tidy up the bubbles? After tidying up, all bubbles will be neatly arranged at the bottom of the map. Watch this. Yes, I do want to do that because I have so many that they will just explode up there the next time I load the camp anyway. So down here, and I've got so many that they're just scrolling off the screen. I can't get them all to load on the screen. But they're down there. They're all there. The bubble machine lets you put multiple things into a bubble, from what I understand. And you can decide what you want to put in there. So you can like have it put a whole bunch of all one type of item in there. All right, so there's that. I'm going to hide my bubbles again because, well, it makes it load easier. Yes, they kind of do. They kind of do. All right, so I've hidden my bubbles, but they all still exist. And that eye symbol there is a reminder that I do have them hidden. Now, here's another thing. So say with a map this size, you're stuck off in the middle of no man's land here, and you want to get back down to the center. Well, this first button in the top left, if you tap that, it's going to recenter the map down to the bottom center where the queen is. That's like Kala. Absolutely. This one is one of them that I typically suggest to people more than merge dragons these days. Also, there are improvements in the quote-unquote dragon book, right? So, first off, we can turn this on and off, and it shows with it like this, it'll block any merges that are not 3 merge. So it'll only come up with 5 merges. Right? So if I see how it's saying I've got merge 3 here. If I tap on this one that's got these 3 little guys on it, it blocks it because that's a 3 merge. It won't let me do 3 merges from the book even. And you see this little icon, this little bunny girl? We're going to tap on her. Each one of these on this screen here is a breed of elf. And the ones that have the little exclamation point in the lower right are the ones that have 5 merges. So I can look at this and do a quick sweep rather than scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to find them. Rather than having to tap on just that red exclamation and merge dragons and have it slide me over. I can pinpoint them more easily, less wiggling about to get to them. All right, so there's that. Gotta love it. I know I do. Also, if you tap on that icon up here, you can change what your icon is. So say that I didn't want this one anymore for my elf that's on my main map. You know how we've all got Ezra in Merge Dragons, that little crimson dragon? Imagine if you could pick your favorite dragon to be the one that's following you across the map. That's what this lets you do. So I could change it to, let's see here. Not the ones I haven't unlocked yet, obviously, but the ones that I have unlocked, I can switch it to whomever I please. And I kind of like this little black cat one, but let's see. Where is she? That's one that I like. I do like this one. Um, there it is. The little Halloween one. And if I go out to the world map, I'm having a hard time keeping up with so many of them, to be honest with you. And I've had to part back a little bit. So here I am out on the world map, and you see this elf right here? That's the one that I picked out of the um, icons there. Oh, and there's multiple save systems on this too. But better yet, you know how we always go for, well, I say we always go for like Dreadmarsh 3 for farming, but you have to scroll and scroll. Well, this, we've got a stage index, a level index. So if you know how far across Dreadmarsh 3 is, you could go and say, well, okay, so this is all these levels, this is all these, this is all these, and then, oh, Dreadmarsh 3 maybe is in the 80. You hit the 80, and it slides you all the way over to where the 80 levels are. I love this. It's a fantastic feature. Oh, let's see. 27, I believe. That's the one I'm looking for. So, yes. If you do get to playing this, one of the levels that I use for Dragon Star farming is level 27. I'll show you why. I'm going to go right in it right now. I know this is off topic from what the event was, but never hurts to show off the game, right? All right, so I'm going to tap that 3 times really quick on that. Oh, he got in the way. Well, I got it in time anyway. So I got all 3 of my stars. There's our dragon star. The gold star is the one that gives the leaves, which are the can you play on PC? If you're playing with an emulator, yes, you can play on PC. So I'll merge those. Okay, so another thing you might have been seeing me do is there's this gold leaf thing in the top right of the UI. And if you tap on that, it makes it so you can avoid having merges unless you overlap stuff. Absolutely, yes. And they listen to players. So, like, some of the stuff that you see that I'm talking about are things that players asked for. And it might not be exactly how we asked for it to be, but it's in a way that works really good for the players. Oh, and you know, if you've been to my streams, you've heard me talk about the magnet or the black hole. Merge Adventure has the magnet because we were very adamant, a bunch of us, that, you know, it was best thing since sliced bread. And they integrated it too, but it came from a player suggestion to the developers for this game. So watch this. All right, so you see I've got this big open area here, right? This big open area. I'm going to bring this item right here in here. And down here at the bottom, there's this blue swirl, or I could use the brown swirl, but I'm going to use the blue one. That's the black hole. And it's going to draw all the items that match this description down here, with that being the central point for it. So I don't have to hunt all over the map. And as long as there's spaces open, around it, it'll bring them all together. Now this is another one that I've got turned on that was also a player suggestion, and it comes from another merge game. When I overlap these, you see how there's that little leaf that's showing up that says 85 in there? It's counted how many items I have involved in this merge. And if it wasn't the right amount, if it was an odd number, I could move a few away and see, then it would have 83, but 85 is good. And I can just merge those, and I know it's a round merge. It's fantastically useful. All right, so the brown one, let's move a few of these away. I'm going to merge these up again. So I'm going to have a variety of levels of these, right? All right, so these are all in the same chain, you see. The marsh marigolds, the reeds, these bulrush. There's another one of the Phaera plants. All right. So the brown one is the one I'm going to tap next. And that one brings everything from that chain. Everything from that same chain will come together, and it'll give you a warning. Want to initiate wormhole to pull all items of the same chain? All items in the same chain will come together, and it could cause a mess, which it can. Double confirmation window of wormhole can be closed in settings. So if I didn't want this to come up every time I use it to as a extra confirm, I could turn this off. So I'm going to confirm it, and here they all come. So I've got the Phaera plants, I've got the bulrushes, I've got the marigolds, I've got the reeds, and I've got the calla lilies, etc. all in here. Oh, you think that's good? So we're coming up here. And this is more of a fluff thing. You want different music in your camp? If you play with the music on, you can do that. There's a whole bunch of different ones. This is purely fluff, but it's something that can be more enjoyable for people. So yeah, there's that. And then there's some more of them, and there's some that I don't have unlocked. Okay? So there's that. And what's this? You can turn off the UI. Right? You can turn off the UI for taking screenshots. So say I wanted to take a picture of my camp and I didn't want all these little star things on the sides and how many of the energy I have and all this stuff. I could turn it off temporarily. And when I close the game and reopen it, it'll come back. So that I don't have to worry about that. So I can get great screenshots. There's some settings that I can change just in camp. There's settings for events. Like you can change, since I was talking about it earlier, I'm going to go do it. You can turn off dimensional jars for in events. They won't pop up. They won't spawn. And that's a lot of people's biggest pet peeve. There's so many dimensional bubbles. I don't want the dimensional jars. They're taking up so much space. Well, guess what? Oh, and we have 3 different quality settings. But yeah. So we can come in here. Confirm going to the world map. Multi-bar I like to have on. Disable combo merges in stages and events. Now, there are some levels that you're going to need those combo orbs for completing the level, so you may need to turn them back on. But I'm going to disable them. It's disabled. There we go. Disable magic bubbles. Actually, leave that on. I want it on. Merging quality display. Yep. Quantity display. Yep. Okay. And you can shrink your elves because some of the elves are massive. When you get to the level 4s, they're huge. They are honking huge. I mean, they are... How do I get around your butt? You are big-butted, little dragon, or little elf. So you can shrink them. There's so many things. Now, I do turn off the dynamic effects display because it's a lot of explodey stuff on the screen. I do have it so that the elves are smaller. There's just a lot of settings, and play around with them. Find what works for you. Oh, let's see. There we go. We're going to go back into the event. But yeah, they really do. They have everything and a bag of chips. And, oh, I didn't show you in the elf book. Once you have an egg discovered, you can buy more of them through the book itself. Now, the downside is you're paying for the convenience because there are gem in this case, but gems are coins. If you're using the elf book to make the purchases, you want to make sure you're keeping an eye out because it will ask you for leaves for ones that you might be able to spend gems or stone for. And that's another thing. You can use both kinds of currency for buying things. There are eggs that you can buy for bricks or stone, as well as ones that you can buy for the gems, the coins. When you come back into an event map, you need to hit that 3 gold leaf thing up here if you want to turn the overlap being required on. So that was a flying visit to some of the wonderful world of... and the wonders. Some of the wonders are only 1 square. They've gone to more of that over time. And the wonders are on a real world timer. You don't have to be in your camp for your wonders to recharge. Just come back once a day. There's... I mean, seriously, so much quality of life packed into this game. Just, it's bonkers. If I had to cut back to only one or two merge games, and I didn't have to factor in what one is the bread and butter for my YouTube channel. It would be Dragon and Elves, and it'd be actually Merge Adventure, most likely, would be the two that I would keep. And that's not saying anything against Merge Dragons or Merge Magic. It's just if I were going purely on quality of life, it would be these two. Okay, so yes, it's kind of hard, but you don't have to give up on the game, on another game to play one. And there's a lot of free stuff in this one. The way that I look at it is, did I enjoy myself? Did I enjoy the use of the money on a game? What would I have spent on it, or spent that money on otherwise? When I've spent on a game, I've probably got a lot more enjoyment out of it than what I might have spent it on otherwise. But generally, when I spend on a game, it's money that I would have been spending on a bad habit. So I look at it as, well, I would have been spending this much on this bad habit. And I'll put that, every time I would have spent on it, I'll put it aside somewhere. And then I might give myself a little bit of it as a reward. So Merge Magic is, in my mind, Merge Dragons Light. It's the sister game to Merge Dragons that has been typically over the years treated as both a test ground and as a redheaded stepchild. It's either forgotten and neglected, or it's used to test something before they start testing it on Merge Dragons. Prime example, Arcadia in Merge Dragons is based on the Dreamlands that is in Merge Magic. And they had it longer in Merge Magic by a long shot. They were testing it there long before they started testing it in Merge Dragons. But I feel it's less developed still in Merge Magic than what they've done with it in Merge Dragons. Merge Magic only recently got rid of, I say recently, in the last year or so, gotten rid of their equivalent to the, there was an egg pool thing that you could do. And they only just got rid of it. I say just. Like I said, within the last year or so, did away with that. But they also have their version of the den chest. Ah, yeah, I understand. And it's a heck of an investment. When you start one of these merge games, though, for like the first couple of weeks, it's a lot more intensive than what it'll become over time. If you go through the steps for really making a strong camp, you know? That's that's the crux of it, is you spend a lot of time in the initial time frame to get yourself really established. And then it's not so big of a deal. You can ease back and not have to spend so much time. So, like, when I first start out one of these, I put a lot of time in so that I can build up my camp, so I can make my camp work for me. And then I get to the point where everything is kind of smooth sailing, so I can just play as much as I want or not want to play in any given session. By establishing a certain amount of homes in the camp, so that I have multiple places for them to rest up and stuff like that. Now, I will also add that the wiki for this game is pretty extensive, and some of the levels are pretty much clones of Merge Dragons or Merge Magic levels, and there is a chart somewhere on that wiki that tells what ones they are a match for. I think level 30 is the equivalent of Zamblin Falls 1. Habiba, do you have like LD Player or BlueStacks or Nox Player or anything like that? Okay, there you go. Alright, there's 3 of these trees now. So this is the equivalent of prism flower method here. I'm going to leave these over to the side because I might end up using them for farming orbs. So the developers for this game are More More Chili, and to contact them you email. It's a Chinese company. Their events vary for how much is going on in them. So it's not always the same amount of um, orbs or anything for the quests. Like this one says 4 mythic orbs, which is basically life orbs of heaven. And my rule of thumb is 2 to 3 more than what it asks for is what I'm going to need. So, Merge Adventure you can play on PC. And Merge Adventure also has a Steam version. Recently, they upgraded their save system, their cloud save for that, so that you can go between PC and um, tablet and Apple and everything. Oh, yeah, no, that is actual fact. Their thing. Hold on, we'll go out to the world map. That is literally their studio name. Let's see. Where's the contact? Contact us. There we go. See? More chili at gmail.com. That is their contact. And you just go through that. Turn my lock back on. Whoa, no, I don't want that. I want to lock it. There we go. And they do let you watch a lot of ads if you choose to. A pony icon. For dragon and elves, no. It's an egg. Oh, Merge Adventure? Yeah, they have a pink egg, and the load screen for Merge Adventure has a Pegasus that's like a purplish pink. Awesome. Yeah, they're like the only merge game on Steam. Now, Merge Adventure is the hardest one when it comes to the free premium currencies. You cannot bring the chests for that back to your camp. And you have to get all 3 medals or stars in a level and then merge them. And you get a chance at getting a chest that's pink padded chest. And if you get the pink padded chest, that's your purple star there, your dragon star. And you have to tap it in level and collect it in level. So, in terms of premium currency generosity, I would rate Dragon and Elves as a 20 in a scale of 1 to 10. And Merge Adventure as kind of like a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. And that would be using, I'd say, using Merge Dragons as the base point for a 10. But, that being said, Merge Adventure, their cloud save, you can rewind and retry without spending, if you're doing it enough, you can save just before you try a level. And if you don't get a pink padded chest, you could always play the level again without having spent the energy if you retrieve your cloud save. Your cloud save is safe and unrestricted. Dragon and Elves has restrictions on their cloud save for frequencies. But they have so many sources for the free currency that it doesn't matter so much. Oh, and here's another thing. Oh, I think I've got it covered. So there's like this little light bulb thing that you can get that flashes up when you can move stuff without it collecting. All right. So that shows up in the top center of your screen if you use it. And it's just a little added visual flash that's a reminder for you for being able to move things without them collecting. Which is a nice little added failsafe. I still sometimes accidentally collect something before I meant to, but not as often with this. I am definitely making copious use of the magnet. When they were talking about it in their development updates, they kept calling it a magnet in the notifications on this game, on Dragon and Elves. Which is why, even though it's a black hole, I still refer to it as a magnet because I got used to it being called a magnet. And it's just stuck ever since. Alright, and there's some more of those tapped out. Do, 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 do. Bring that in, merge those up. There isn't 5 merge worth of those. Okay. And there are so many wonders in this game. A lot of the chains that are in events end up with a wonder of some sort, at least one of them. Now, I will say this, for Dragon and Elves, the events are not as forgiving as Merge Dragons events when it comes to making your chains, doing your different ones. But also, typically, there's also 3 elves that you'll have rather than just 2 dragons. Even if you don't do Prism Flower. But only one of them will be quote unquote free. You'll need to watch ads for the other one or two, the other 2, for at least some of the eggs. Or if you've accumulated silver leaves, that's a newer thing now that they've added that goes with like their monthly pass. There's several different levels of that. But that's one of the things that comes from the monthly pass. Oh, and I didn't even talk about this. So you know how sometimes you just want to harvest one thing? You can charge up these Queen's Magic Pool, right? By watching videos or with the silver leaves or with your gold leaves. And there's these different functions. You need to activate the storage first. Okay, bubble machine. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna get the bubble machine. Anyways, so there's like power of the time elf will double the time when bought inside challenge stages and offers a half price discount. So you can buy extra time in some levels. Okay. Eternal magic will transform items inside the homeworld into collectibles. Each transformation will spend up to 30 minutes of energy. Okay. Will only be enabled in the homeworld. Only Queen's magic can be active at 10. Okay. Collectibles, gotcha. Event harvest. After activating this magic, you can use the focus harvest and map cleanup functions on items inside the event map. Event harvest can be set for a maximum of 360 minutes, and it can only be enabled in the event map. Only one Queen's magic active at a time, and this lets you pick one thing to harvest, and they'll ignore harvesting everything else for that time. So yes, that's another thing that is possible. I mean, you can set that to be always the case in camp, like turn harvesting off in some games. Not very many of them. But having it focus on just harvesting one particular item, yes, please. Alright, so yeah. Awesome. So there is in Dragon and Elves a newbie event that lasts for a couple of days, and you'll get that before you get regular events. But I think it's like 3 or 6, less than 20 elf power. It's like you almost immediately get access to it, to events in general. There is a very low bar for entry. And you should definitely play it. It's got some nice little rewards. It doesn't have cloud keys in the tutorial event, but it has some nice goodies. And it'll introduce you to some of the chains that you will see on a regular in events. It's definitely worth doing even that tutorial event. Alright, let's see. Now with Merge Adventure, that works a little bit differently for how you can do massive builds of stuff. Their prices don't go down when stuff is bubbled, and they're very hard to bubble in. You need like 2x1 or higher items to be able to bubble in that one. Although there might be ways if you think a little outside the box. It's just not something that I would publish or talk about too publicly. There's a trick. Oops, well, that was a 4 merge. Anyways, initially we could do like the Marcus V method in Merge Adventure, but they don't work quite the same. Or no, it wasn't Marcus V, it was the uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, I just had one of the hangs that they've been talking about. We're gonna go out to the world map. Yep, I've got the slowdown that they've been talking about as it's coming up on... How long have I been streaming? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, the map is a little bit frozen on me. This has been an issue that they've been experiencing across the board where as much as I'm trying to tap on stuff, it's not letting me. And that's a bug they've recently been seeing, and they're investigating. And I'm trying to think if there's been anything that... Yeah, it's not taking any of my inputs. There we go. Okay. Something was... It's still not taking the inputs. Huh. Interesting. Trying to think what I've been doing that might have been... Okay, let's take a trip out to the world map. Just to make sure it's saved on here. Yeah, Merge Magic especially has a high bar for what you need to be able to get into the events. And Merge Dragons is just about as bad in that regard. Whereas I think the sooner you can get people into the short-term play stuff, like the events, that it's more apt to make them more money. Personally, that's just my opinion, but that's also my observation from a lot of games. That, you know, the sooner you can do events, the more likely people are to spend. And that's how they make their money, and that's how they give us a free game, is because there are people that spend. And in merge games, it's no skin off my nose if somebody else is spending money on them. The people that spend are the people that make it so that we can have a free game. You know? So, and it's not a competition. Even when they add things that have the races and stuff like that, the race in Merge Dragons is against bots. It's not against actual players. It's all programming. So, if you're losing the madness races over in Merge Dragons, it's just because a timer that's in the background has run out. That's not matching up to the overall timer for the event. Just, it's programming. It's not because somebody spent a bunch of money so that they could finish before you. It's not. So when somebody spends a bunch of money in one of the merged games, I don't want to necessarily hear about it, but I will say in the back of my mind, thank you to those players that do spend, because they enable us to have a free game. And for the developers to still get paid. I'll watch their ads when I'm not streaming, because that does help, in a sense, pay for the game. Alright. Yeah, this is hanging real bad. Alright, so we've kind of wandered off from the event a little bit, and I'm thinking that why don't I go over to one of the other games? Because this is not behaving. And I'll stream some more of this probably sometime earlier tomorrow. But I'm going to close this up. So, oh, and I got an update to 11.9 for Merge Dragons. Haven't really dug into that just yet. Doesn't look like there was anything really new with it. They probably shuffled me to a new beta test group or something. Oh, the whole tablet decided to go. That's in the emulator. Okay. Well, system UI. Okay. What in the world? This is new. That would explain why the game was being a little bonkers. Exactly. Exactly. With as small as the beta test group was, too, initially for it, there's no way that it was actual people that were doing that. And they can try to convince me all that they want that it's actual people, but when you know, you know. You know? Oh, you didn't distract me from it. It was a good bounce off to do other things, and I'm glad I got to show you this other game. There's plenty of time with that event too. So no big. Wow, what the heck is up with this? There we go. No recent items. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Let's go to the desktop for it. Come on. It's like, there's no way I was going to be totally focused on the event anyway. So, once I get this back up here, it doesn't want to load to the... Probably need to restart my emulator. Oh, this will take a hot minute. Restart. So, do you guys want to see one of the other merge games before I wrap things up? So, with Merge Adventure, I was saying how doing massive roll-up for builds is a little bit different. For that, I would start out with your stone. Same with a lot of these. You start out focusing more on the secondary currency. And you can get a few of the buildings, work on them, and build up a stockpile that's on the ground, though, right? Not that's collected. In Merge Adventure, to get your prices lower, you need to actually get rid of your buildings. Because even if they're bubbled, they count. As soon as they're on the ground, they count. When you merge them up, the price goes up. And it's only when you get rid of them all that price drops down. So what I would do is build a little bit, if you're going to do it that way. Pardon me. Build a little bit, and then build up your supply. And then get rid of those buildings and start fresh with it as cheap as you can, and just buy all of them that you need. Use like Mergeling and just calculate it for what the chains are. Not necessarily the same names, because there's not the same names, but you can use Mergeling to figure out how many you'll need for whatever your goal is. And then buy them all up once you've lowered the price, and then roll them out and build them up. Well, this is trying to load up. Slowly but surely we get back in here. If it decides to be a brat at me again, then we might call it. Do 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 do. All right. So, did you want to see any of the other ones, guys? Otherwise, I'm going back into Dragon and Elves. And Dragon and Elves, you can actually have multiple games. I don't have it set up for myself, but you can actually have multiple games of all on one user account. So that's another nice feature that they've thrown out there for players. Alright, let's get in here. Oh goodness, it's 1:30 in the morning. And let's get back in here. Plus, Dragon and Elves is so detailed graphically. It's gorgeous. Do 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 do. All right. Speaking of once daily on those wonders, I've only got two particular types out right now that I've been working on for my elves. Yeah. And I should check on those at some point. It's taking a bit to load up, but that's more because I'm streaming than anything. Do, 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 do. Alright, let's get back into the event for just a little bit. Put a little more work into the quote-unquote prism flower method. Okay. Lock that up again. And we'll suck those in there, and that's a 10 merge. There's two of the level 5s. Merge those. Alright, so I just want to finish up with prism flower stuff before... Oh, you don't need to be doing those. I was just tapping him to get the heals out. Get back over here. I'll grab these berries. Let's just merge stuff up with those. Just because I can. Those, and that's 2 more. Alright, come on. Quit lagging. Alright. Let's get that out of there and see if a couple more of those. There we go. Merge those up. That up. Do, 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 do. There's a couple more of these for bushes. There's two more of the 5s. Oh, thank you for the flower. So I need one more of the 5s to make 2 of the equivalent of Ruins of the Sky Palace. Do, do, do. And that'll give me 2 more of the big gorgeous mushrooms. Bring those bushes on in. Thank you for that flower and that one too. All right. Let's see. Let's step out some more bushes out of these. And bring bushes in. Alright, getting closer. Let's bring some more bushes in here. Do, 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 do. Bring these all together. That's a 5 merge there, and that's 2 wonders. Now, there is no nest key. This is purely for the sake of eggs. And I'm going to set these aside so I can let them recharge. Didn't really get much for by way of merges with the eggs. Huh. That was a bit of a dud. Both of them were. Well, that wasn't as worth it as it usually is. Oh. Well, that was a bit of a dud. Well, those will recharge. How long? 10 hours. Okay, we'll hold on to those. Oh well. Alright, so even though I haven't gotten quite what I wanted, I've at least made 2 of the wonders. They will recharge. I'm going to keep them on the map. Maybe they'll have something nice for me later. Alright, have a good dinner, and yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. here, so I think it's time for me to wrap things up and call it a night. But there will be more of this, just not tonight. Alright, thanks for hanging out, guys, and keeping me company while I started working on this. My pleasure. Alright, so I'll see you guys next time. Love y'all loads. Stay awesome. Have a great day, night, whatever the case may be. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.